first started working at Fiberbond as a young man, I think the early days of Fiberbond, we were learning how to build telecom shelters, and we were learning how to grow and how to build more. We were always pushing the envelope and how we could meet our customers' needs, provide a quality product. We met at Fiberbond. She worked in engineering as a designer, and the engineering team worked in the plant at that time, and so every day at noon they would go to lunch and me and the guys were out in the production floor. And she actually asked me out on the first date, so right. We went to the Fiberbond Christmas party and that's where we met.
When did I know that it was like the moment was at the end of the year. We always did inventory, and I had kind of been noticing in him, and I think he might have been noticing me, as he said. It was freezing cold, and he gave me his coat, and I think that was probably the deciding factor that he's a pretty good guy.
Our relationship developed, and she was like going to church. And she was like, yeah, you ought to come to church with me, let's go. And I'd be like, I'm not going to church, I'm not doing that. I was kind of rough around the edges. But one day I went with her. We started there, and it just kind of continued to grow throughout the years. We just continued to be faithful to our calling and ministered to kids for 18 years. And so it's a big part of who we are now, both of us. The ministry and my faith, it's impacted me tremendously and helped me to be a better person.
Mike and Peggy have been the children's pastors. They've been associate pastors. Not only have they spoken to mine and my wife's life, but they truly love our kids. They see our kids as their own grandkids. They go out of their way to show them love, that it's not just love from their parents, but that them as another human being cares about them and loves on them unconditionally.
Almost 13 years ago this month, I was in an ATV rollover accident. We hit a bump, it flipped over, and the row bar landed on my neck and broke it. Mike was in Kansas City at the time. He was on a business trip with Fiberbond in Kansas City. He made it there the next morning and read the report that said quadriplegic, but he didn't accept that. And I was in the hospital for 2 months, and that took a lot of faith.
Mike and Miss Peggy both, they speak into our lives, they encourage us. Every time we see Miss Peggy, she's just wanting to give us a hug and tell us how much she loves us.
We never hesitated, from day one when it happened, when we got there was a plan. It was positive and reading God's word and believing what we read, just having faith in that word. I think our faith is so strong now. It's because of that, through the tests and the trials. It's like,
it's where your faith grows.
It's where it grows. I mean, and it's up to you to determine if you're going to make it, if you're going to move forward. And she made that decision, and very courageous and very faithful, and just pushed through every day.
Mike has taught me probably the best quality to have character, to be disciplined and to be personal with not just your employees, but your fellow workers. And then throughout the last 16 years, it's been a constant relationship back and forth, just helping each other, encouraging each other with work, with family. He's been like a father figure, not just to me, but to I know several other employees.
Besides our faith and besides our family, Fiberbond, it's right there. And family is a big part of our culture. We couldn't have probably went through the challenges as quickly or as easy without their support and what they did and stood behind us as a family.
Mike genuinely cares about his employees. He's constantly coaching, constantly teaching, encouraging us, not just for work, but personally, making sure that we were not just physically healthy and okay, but emotionally healthy and okay.
Without Fiberbond, I don't know. It's more than a job. It's more than a paycheck. It's where we met, it's where we grew up, where we had children. 33 years. It's our life. I'm Mike Pedroza, and I'm building a better bond through perseverance, faith, and family.